Hey folks, welcome to another day, another unboxing, and I feel like I'm back 3 months ago in March, and I'm unboxing the Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G. Finally, Samsung PR sent me a review unit, so here we go. I know it's old news now, but this is a pretty significant phone for 2020, so I'm glad I'm getting my hands on it to try it out. I have a whole bunch of other phones with periscope lenses right now, like the P40 and P40 Plus and the Oppo Find X2 Pro. I will put all those videos up here. So, it's not like I'm not familiar with periscope zoom. So let's see what Samsung can bring to the table, shall we? You've seen the boxes before on other unboxing. Here it is. Here's the phone. Take a look at that in a minute. Got a divider here. Samsung. I missed it, but in the box here is actually another little divider box thing. So let's check it out real quick. We've got a manual, I guess, in here and a SIM removal tool. There we go, SIM removal. Manuals, nothing else in here. Samsung Knox, turn photos in videos in epic moments, single take AI. Don't lose a thing, back up your old phone. So apparently it comes with a screen protector pre-installed or something. Interesting. Anyway, this is the one we want to quickly look at. Quick reference guide. And we've got, very nicely illustrated quick reference guide. Look at this. That's pretty. All right, so let's carry on, shall we? You got the ubiquitous Samsung charger. I'll leave this up so we can read the details. And it's a USB Type-C PD charger, looks like. In here is usually, don't know why it didn't come with it, but usually there's a Type-C to Type-A adapter, so you can plug in your old cable from your phone and do the data transfer thing. And then we've got the earbuds, which are USB Type-C, since there's no headphone jack for the first time on the Galaxy series. I mean, the Note didn't either, but this is the first S series without headphone jack. And then you've got the USB cord here. So this is going to be Type-C to Type-C this time, right? So nothing too exciting here. Let's have a look at the phone, start it up, and go through all the details. There is a screen protector. I can feel it. I'm not going to remove it, but let's first remove this thing. It'll be fun. Oh, that's a satisfying sound. Interestingly, there was an IMEI sticker here at some point, but somehow they removed it. So this might not be a brand new phone, but that's okay. All right, so let's turn it on, shall we? And then we can talk about the display real quick. This is a 6.9-inch screen, which is pretty damn big. It has a 1440 by 3200 pixel resolution. So that's Quad HD if you're keeping track at home. It has a refresh rate of up to 120 Hertz with options for 60 Hertz. Unfortunately, at 120 Hertz, you have to run this at 1080p. Or you have to run it at Quad HD at 60 Hertz. So you only have one option or the other, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm not sure if they've changed this in software since, but that's one of the things that we complained about originally. So you've got a single hole punch camera at the top here. Let's talk about that real quick. This is a 40 megapixel, f/2.2, 0.7 micron. I'm not sure if it pixel bins down to 10 megapixel for double the pixel size. It does 4K video. So that's exciting. There's an in-display fingerprint sensor. It's ultrasonic. It's not the best. And there are a lot of people having issues with it. They work for me most of the time, so I can't complain too much. And that's it in terms of the front. And if you look carefully, you can kind of see the speaker grill is kind of embedded in the edge here. And then that's stereo speakers, by the way. So it supports stereo because there's a bottom firing speaker as well. And for the first time in a long time, this got very little curved edges for a Samsung phone. That's pretty exciting. I don't like the waterfall edges very much. So very little bezel all around, but a relatively flat screen, which is good news. All right, let's talk about the cameras in the back, because that's what you all came for, right? I mean, you already know this because the Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G has been around for a while. So we've got a 108 megapixel main sensor. That's a pretty large sensor, 1/1.33 inches. It is f/1.8, 0.8 micron. It actually bins pixels 9:1 for 12 megapixel output. So that's kind of unusual. Nobody's really done this before. 9:1 for 12 megapixels output, which makes the pixels very large. You basically have to multiply by 3 the 0.8 microns to get a feel for how large that's going to be. 2.4 microns is pretty damn great. So yeah, that's a majorly awesome main camera. Then there is that crazy periscope. And so, you know, they advertise as 100 times hybrid zoom. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's written down here. 100 times hybrid zoom. And that's kind of BS, really, because this is not even a 10 times optical zoom, right? So it's a 4 times optical zoom with OIS. By the way, there's obviously OIS on the main sensor as well, and phase detect autofocus. But the hybrid zoom brings it up to 10 times, and then they claim up to 100 times, but that doesn't look really good. So it's really 10 times hybrid, 4 times optical, f/3.5, 0.8 microns, phase detect autofocus, and of course the sensor behind that telephoto is a 48 megapixel. So that's up here, that's the periscope. Then we've got a 12 megapixel ultra wide, f/2.2, 1.4 microns. That's what's used for super steady video as well. And then we have a 0.3 megapixel VGA time of flight 3D camera, f/1.0. Wow, that's pretty amazing. And then that's it in terms of sensors on the back here. And this is a pretty big and pretty thick pod. It sticks out quite a bit, as you can see here. So specs. So obviously this phone is well known. It's got a Snapdragon 865 and an X55 5G modem from Qualcomm. That's no surprise. It has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, lots of battery power. It can fast charge up to 45 watt. It supports wireless charging up to 15 watt and reverse wireless charging up to 9 watt, which is pretty great. And then of course it comes in various versions. We have a 128 gigabyte, 12 gigabyte version, and we have a 256 gigabyte, 12 gigabyte version, and a 512 gigabyte, 16 gigabyte version for 16 gigs of RAM, which is pretty insane at UFS 3.0 for the storage. So yeah, it's a beast, but we already knew that. And the price is too much, right? It starts at $1,400. Not a cheap phone by any means. But widely available, supports all the bands in the US for 5G for all the carriers, including millimeter wave on Verizon, which is obviously a big deal for those people who live near a millimeter wave area. Not too much millimeter wave in the country yet. So yeah, that's it for the specs. Let's walk you through the edges real quick. So on the left-hand side, surprisingly, there's absolutely nothing. On the bottom here, we have a primary microphone, USB Type-C port, and one of the 2 speakers. This is the bottom firing speaker for the stereo pair. On the left-hand side, you have a volume rocker and power lock button. There's no Bixby button this year, which is exciting. And then we have, of course, the secondary mic and the SIM tray with micro SD support, because why not go all out, right? That's Samsung for you. Other than the headphone jack, they went all out. So yeah, that's basically the lay of the land on this phone. Nothing too spectacular, but obviously I'll let you know what I think on the show. I finally got one. Maybe keep an eye on my Instagram and my Twitter at Tankgirl, TNKGRL, just like the comic book character, but without the vowels. And then, of course, please like, subscribe, tell your friends. Click the little notification bell below and comment below if you want. Remember, this is a supplement to the podcast at mobiletechpodcast.com. So we've talked about the S20 Ultra 5G quite a bit on the show already, obviously, because it's been 3 months. Check out the podcasts already, but subscribe, tell your friends. We're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Spotify, pretty much everywhere. Yeah, stay tuned for more videos, folks. We'll have more content for you soon. And until then, cheers, everybody.